Greetings and salutation. We're gonna start a little early here because we don't got that much time because, chat, we are here for a direct, a conference, a gaming event, which is, of course, Dune Awakening. The brand new MMO, chat. We got ourselves a brand new MMO, or as they've been describing it, survival MMO. And of course, the sun is out, everything's falling apart around me. I'm very blue, but we're gonna roll with it here because I am very excited for it as a Dune fan. And yeah, also I love me some survival games. So putting the two together and throwing it in a MMO, I am so curious to see where they're gonna go, since we did see a 15-minute dev diary thing a couple months ago. We did watch it morning on stream. If you missed that, go check out the VOD over on Twitch. But a lot of questions came up from that going into it that I'm curious about, such as the whole player information stuff, how the classes are gonna work, also the PvP, PvE stuff, and whatnot. I'm not 100% for sure how much it's gonna be. It could be 10 minutes, it could be an hour. I have no idea. But let's jump into this. And let's figure this out together, chat. Because I am super curious here. Could Doom have a lot of possibility, especially with how dense and expansive the universe is? And man, it's already looked so much better than, than the preview event we saw a couple months ago. So let's figure this out. What we got?
Hello and welcome to the very first Dune Awakening Direct, a brand new series where we'll be taking a look at all things.
Okay,
Dune
then we're gonna do multiple of these.
From our studio here.
Okay.
On Arrakis. On this episode, we'll be chatting to Joel Bylos. He's the Chief Creative Officer for Dune Awakening here at Funcom, and he will tell us what players can look forward to this year, and he will share some news about our beta testing phase. Then we're
gonna point that out about like the beta stuff.
Brand new gameplay trailer that we're just so
and this shield, so that means the beta might actually hit this shield.
Look at what it takes to bring the most dangerous planet in the universe to life, from book to film to video game. Let's get started with
and comics. We can't forget there was a whole bunch of Doom comic as well.
Arrakis is this unrelenting anvil against which people are beaten and shaped and forged into something that's stronger.
There's something very spiritual about that sand, which on the surface is really nothing,
I had my fan on. It was hot.
Really diverse biological backstory.
I've got to turn it off before the chat. Sorry about that.
One of my favorite lines from Frank Herbert is, when you end a novel, it's like a train coming into the station that doesn't stop. You just jam on the brakes and let the sparks fly into people's imagination.
Not a bad quote though.
Arrakis is a test, is what the Fremen say. And the player comes right into the heart of that test. Dune Awakening is a survival game at the base level. And it begins
so much better
like
than
a traditional
last time we've
game,
seen it.
Like you're looking for water, you're looking for shelter. You know, where will you find water in the desert? Will you take it from others? So when we talk about survival, sure, we start with the basic kind of survival, survive. And then when you've survived long enough, it's now time to think about political survival and how you progress within the universe. The approach we take when building a world like Arrakis is we kind of have to think about where are the stark lines and how do we draw these epic spaces? How do we make them feel huge and the player feels dwarfed by everything they see around them?
The intention was every time we saw the desert, it was highly brutal, and if you went out into the desert without the right protection and without the right knowledge, that it was sure death. If we looked at references from some of the hottest deserts in the world, the visuals that we saw from those deserts weren't enough. We needed this world to be even harsher.
So we've been working with Legendary since the very beginning. They've been very generous with sharing with us assets from the film and allowing us to see things from the film and allowing us to really understand the vision that Denis Villeneuve has for the world and his characters and the way he's grounding Arrakis. But of course, a game is a much larger scale, so we need to expand upon that vision. We have our own army of concept artists who are sending things back and forth with Legendary all the time. One of my best moments on this project so far, actually, was I got to go and visit the set of the first film with a group of the people from Funcom, the art directors, the lead artists, and we got to walk around in the actual sets that they had built in classic old school set building, massive palaces, and we got to look at the ornithopters from the inside and the outside, right? We got to walk around them and get a sense of their scale.
Well, I think what they had done really well is they'd been quite inspired by the world that we had built in Dune Part 1. Now, in a film, you're sort of led on a journey by the director and by the script, whereas in a game, you have the opportunity to sort of create your own narrative and create your own journey. The most exciting aspect for me is the fact that you can take what you've enjoyed and loved and you can build your own stories and your own places. And that, to me, is the ultimate goal, is to have, complete control.
Using Unreal 5 to create
I was going
a
to say
game
that is Unreal
is
wiped out.
obviously one of the better choices. Unreal 5 gives us flexibility through the blueprinting system.
God.
It allows us to
We will
handle
see.
amazing graphics through the rendering system, the lighting system, such as
Hopefully some
Lumen
work have been
technology allows
done
proper
as
light
far
balancing.
like
If I had to say
how
one thing in
it
the game
actually
that really
window
benefits from Lumen, it's player crafted
big
spaces.
area.
In our case, it's like you build a room and you place a window, and the window lets in natural light, and the light will fill the room in a way that feels real. And that technology hasn't existed before. Before Unreal 5, in the olden days, you had to use what we called the LOD system. And that meant that you had to create assets at different LOD levels, so it doesn't slow down everybody's computer. With Unreal 5, we have this new technology called nanite that breaks things down into the right amount of polygons at the right distance. So for us, as a company, this has made an amazing difference to the visual detail of the world. It allows us to create one really amazing looking cliff piece.
Then I have helped a
and then doesn't matter
lot
how far away or
with
how close we place it, it performs well.
with like
and it looks
performance.
great.
Hey Z, welcome to Z. You just in time. Time for a
Where
brand new
Unreal worked for
MMO
us on
Z.
Dune was that it was a fantastic pre-production and planning tool. On Dune Part 2, we had some very complicated scenes, and we were able to previs all the way from Budapest what the light was going to be doing well in advance. It's the only tool that I've used, I would say, in my 25 years of shooting that is able to be used across a wide spectrum of films by different types of filmmakers.
Right now they're going on about
The most
Unreal
iconic
Engine,
creature
Unreal
in
Engine
the
5
Dune
for
universe
this.
is the sandworm of Arrakis. And so we've tried to represent this in the game in multiple ways.
Looking
as
so
a
much
player, your
better
footsteps
than it
on the
did
open
8 months
sand.
ago, Z.
You hear the hiss of the sand in the distance as the sandworm begins to move towards you. And when it gets close, you hear the roar as it erupts from the sand nearby. And at that point, you have only seconds to live if you cannot make it to rocky ground. So this is your first
We're
experience.
gonna
with
die so
sandworms.
much with a
And these are the
sandworm.
little ones. When you go into the deep desert, when you're harvesting spice, the giant ringmouth sandworms that we've seen in the film will erupt underneath the spice blows and suck harvesters and equipment down into the sand beneath them. There's really only one rule. The sandworm will always come. Humans have always had this innate drive to create something, to build worlds, whether it's in their head, whether it's in text, whether it's on screens, whether it's in games. Funcom as a company has been on this journey for a long time, creating multiplayer worlds where players can live out their dreams and fantasies. We were there in the beginning with massively multiplayer online games. We've been there in the beginning with survival open world crafting games. And Dune is a combination of those legacies, bringing us forward into the future. It's the culmination of what Funcom means as a company and what we can deliver. And this legacy means that we need to really pay attention to what we're creating and how we create it.
Yeah,
for the
I'm curious
fans.
if they've
Because
moved
I
on
think
Will
at the heart of
recently
this,
or not.
There's a lot of people out there who really want to live in the universe that
But then
Frank Herbert
again,
created.
Then again,
And they
like
really
8
wanna
months ago
live
when we saw
in
that,
the
it
visual
was
world of
rough
the
in a lot
films
of
that they see
places.
from Villeneuve. And so we need to create the gap between those two possibility spaces and create a game world where people can live out their fantasies that they've taken from Dune. And yes, it's a huge legacy and it feels at times extremely overwhelming, but we really hope that we can deliver something for everybody.
Wow, that was great. Creating captivating visions on the big screen and the immersive world of games, of course, both certainly come with their own unique set of challenges. And I think it's very clear that both mediums draw deeply from the seminal book that started it all. Now, of course, Villeneuve's movies have mesmerized the audiences with their adaptation of Frank Herbert's masterpiece. It's been showcasing the intricate politics, the very stunning visuals, and the harsh desert of Arrakis. And now, as we venture into the game, the challenges of bringing this rich universe to life really takes on new forms. So, here to share this exciting process with us is Joel Biles, the Chief Creative Officer for Dune Awakening. Joel, welcome to the first ever show.
Thank you very much for having me. It's exciting to be here.
I am so excited that you're here because I get to pick your brain. I have so many questions and I want to dive straight into this.
I have so many
Dune
questions as
Awakening
well.
Is a survival MMO. 2 words everyone watching will be familiar with, but what's your take on that? What is a survival MMO?
Sure. So survival games are obviously a genre of games about like building yourself up from the bottom and surviving. MMOs are more about social interaction and you know how players work together to achieve big goals. And we thought, why not combine the two? You know, why don't we create a game? Because
You know that they're not playing. They're not talking about like
you once you get to a certain point of survival, it
stuff.
kind of ends, and that's kind of where you've gotten to.
I didn't try
But what we thought was like the universe of Dune is a perfect place with these politics and this intrigue and there's machinations that happen. So let's get players hooked on the survival and then bring them into the political survival of the Dune universe.
Let's break it down then and dive a little deeper, starting with the survival part. What are we surviving on Arrakis? What's out there? I mean, worms, yeah, players?
Sandstorms.
What else?
Other players. Yeah, so the player, I mean, obviously Arrakis is all about the heat and the water. So the player, first of all, needs to be searching for water. They need to stay out of the sun, stay in black shade during the daytime, travel by
Dramatic,
night.
I love it.
That's what the Fremen say, right? That's what the
Yep.
the Kitan al-Gaib says it in the book, right? Black shade by day, travel by night. So the player needs to worry about these things, think about the sunlight, think about where they are, but they also need water because that runs out really quickly without a still suit and you die very fast. So yeah, there's lots of ways in which to get water. You can explore dew fields and eat plant fiber to try and get water out of it. After a while, you start to throw up because you can't really get too much water out of plants that way. And then the way I prefer to do it is to shoot enemies, take their blood, drink that.
You just casually dropped that right there. Okay, so we're harvesting blood or just lick some plants, whichever way you choose.
I got that play into the PvP stuff, though.
Yeah, stay hydrated at home, in and out of game. Are there other resources I need to worry about?
Yeah, so as a player, I mean, it's a proper survival open world crafting game, right? So players will craft their entire arsenal, right? So they'll be collecting resources, you know. They'll be collecting stone, they'll be collecting metals like copper, iron, eventually forging steel, building up the equipment that they have at home. So they'll be crafting, you know, all their weapons, all of their gear, all of their clothing, and they can of course.
I want to
craft
know
to live in, craft machines to help them.
How they're gonna
craft
handle
bigger
that
machines,
for
which allow them
PvP
to
and
craft better
PvE
weapons
stuff.
and so forth.
All right, so
And
a
they
lot
said
to
about
do
safe zone,
is
but
I'm
what makes it a
hearing.
safe
Base
zone?
building you just mentioned, that's obviously very exciting. I saw you guys shared a sneak peek of what a base could look like already on your TikTok channel. Very cozy. Why would I ever leave a home like that and like head out into the desert? But I'm sure you guys give us plenty of reasons to do just that. Is there anything special about the base building in this game?
Yeah, so we took what we started with in Conan Exiles, our other survival game. We brought that over. Then we started to add to it, right? So we've now created a system for co-op building where you can place out holograms and other players can fill them in. So you work with your friends to build bases. You can also save your base.
Probably
as
like
an architectural
Nightingale down.
blueprint that you can then sell to other players on the
Where you
exchange.
dumped
can
up
give
into
to your
it.
friends. So they, you know, if you make
Instead of
something
needing
really
an
cool,
item
one of the things we
specifically
saw
to
in
make
Conan
it.
Exiles that I really liked was that players were building the Taj Mahal. They were just building really cool buildings, and it's like, what if you could sell that to another player? That'd be cool, right? So another player might want to be able to just buy that blueprint off you and then place that out in the world and build it themselves. So we're really enabling this sharing and sort of the way the building system works, allowing.
Are there going to be
very
auction
cooperative.
houses for that?
That's incredible. I absolutely love that. Well, I know my story arc is going to be architect who harvests blood.
That is
occasionally, but, you know,
interesting
what can I
thing
do?
that builders
Now that I have my basic needs on
gonna
met,
gonna
I'm
be
staying
like a part of the
hydrated,
economy.
in some unkosher ways, and I'm having my base. How do I protect myself and my base from the world? Like, what am I doing for combat here?
So the game has a full leveling system, right? And we do this thing we call combined arms, which is like we have melee, we have ranged, and we have abilities, and we also have vehicles, right? So players can use any combination of these in combat, right? So it's kind of creates this interesting dynamic.
Start taking notes,
So you
Dad.
can learn abilities from the great schools of the universe and learn how to be a Bene Gesserit, compelling your enemies to come close to you so that you can stab them with a knife. And you combine so you're combining melee with abilities there, right? Or you can be a sword master and leap in with a knee charge, knocking people to the ground and then stabbing them. Or you can choose to be like a trooper and you use your Shigawire reel to pull you up like a grappling hook, to pull you to high places where you can shoot down on your enemies with sniper rifles and shotguns. So there's a large variety of weapons that you can craft through our intricate crafting system, in addition to these abilities that you learn as you level up your character. So you kind of have this freedom of choice, and that's really what Combined Arms is all about. It's sandbox combat. That's what we're trying to call it and what we're going for, right?
Are those hard locked in classes, or is there like a...
Oh, here we go.
Can I explore different skill trees? Like,
Yes.
can I be a swordsman or a swordsmaster and also use the voice? Is that possible?
It's absolutely possible. You just have to find the right trainer in the world who'll teach you these things. So you choose in character creation, you make a choice of who was your mentor when you were young. And then you choose one of the things, and that determines your set of starting abilities. But then when you play the game, you find trainers in the world. You have to do things for them, but then they'll eventually teach you some of the way, the path that can take you down some of these skills and abilities, yeah.
I love that. Okay, so lots of things to explore there as a player and avenues to take, all in order to protect myself and maybe my friends if I feel like it. What am I protecting? Like, how do I protect myself against sandworms? Like, can I fight them? Can I ride them? Like, what's the deal with them?
Sandworms are like a tension mechanic in the game. We want you to be really worried every time you walk on the sand. So you really need to think about what you're doing. So there is no way to kill or defeat sandworms.
No,
the only thing
I
you can
cannot.
do, you just cannot. The only thing you can do is avoid the sandworms, right? So you
I'm
craft
curious,
yourself a
there's
thumper
RNG
and
or
place it
not.
out to distract a sandworm. Maybe you use it to lure a sandworm onto some friends of yours or some
Or they're just going to always
That's what
attack.
it does.
and the other thing you can do, of course, is craft yourself a vehicle. Like we have a range of vehicles in the game, including the iconic ornithopters, and players will be able to craft these, and you'll be able to use these to, of course, traverse safely, right? If you're in an ornithopter, you fly above. If you're on a sand bike or something like that, you can move quickly across the sand. Hopefully a sandworm won't get you if you time it right.
Hopefully.
Hopefully,
That's always hoping.
Like,
I love a constant looming threat. Sounds really stressful. Sounds perfect, actually, for a survival MMO. Now, you already alluded to some of the cooperative things one can do in game. Can you elaborate a little bit more here, or dive deeper into this? Like,
Sure.
Can I fully go on a journey with someone and like do tasks with each other? Like, what can I do with other people?
Oh, does it not? I haven't
hook up
looked
with your
that
friends,
much into
join
like
together with a
console
grouping
porting.
system. We have a ping system.
Probably
so you can,
should, though.
obviously point out things to players. You will find different roles that you can assume based on the kind of combination of abilities you want to bring with you. And then you can heal your friends, of course, get them up when they get knocked down in combat, things like that. And then, of course, you go on journeys like we have a system called the journey system. You can go on those journeys together and sort of explore the mystique of the universe. Through that, we also have a contract system. When you go to trade posts, you'll be able to take contracts. Your friend and you can go out and explore and do these contracts together. We have small group play, we have guild play. It's all kind of what you'd expect to see in a social experience.
What's your take on the politics? Because obviously the books and the movies, that's a big part of it, like the whole political intrigue. How predominant is that in the game?
I mean, we want players to be able to dip into it. So you start the game kind of lost in the desert, right? And then by the end of the game, maybe you're the next Baron Harkonnen. So as you play through the game,
and who doesn't want to be?
Yeah, to be honest, there's a lot to that could be
He's a
really
good-looking
good.
man.
I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like interesting
as you
thing.
make your way through the game,
You got the whole
progress
cyber
and you
aspect
sort of,
and the MMO with the
meet these
PvP
factions
in the
world,
middle.
right? The Atreides and the Harkonnen are at war. There's a war of assassins going on, as it's called. And as a player, you decide which side you want to help, which side you want to join.
There could be like
Then you start to partake in missions
pretty
for
big
those
for a decent
factions,
amount of time
and
if it's
eventually,
done
you work
right.
your way up through the ranks of the factions, and maybe you take on a position of power as well. So the politics are, they're designed to actually encourage players to develop their own politics around the sandbox systems, right? So we have this Landsrad. The Landsrad will demand that players do certain things. The factions need to work together or against each other to achieve these goals, right? So there's also this sandbox element to the politics.
Because it sounds
Which
like
also
they're
then
very much trying to
encourages,
channel New
co-op
War
play
stuff.
or PvP play.
So
more.
long
Co-op
come
play or
out
PvP play,
and
yeah, there's this
Well, we
This
come
kind of
out
idea
and
that,
like
when
semi-balance.
people have the same objective, but they're on opposite sides, it becomes a race between them to achieve that objective, and they'll do all sorts of dirty things to get to the top right.
Sounds about
Oh
right.
yeah, I remember
Can I
NM
opt out of
farming in
politics? Can I
Final
just live
Fantasy
my
11
peaceful
for
little
that.
Swiss life
Yep.
in my cottage?
Not
Absolutely.
long.
You can play however you want. I mean, the idea is to be a sandbox and allow people to approach it how they like. We have one of the rules, one of the pillars of the game is expression and customization, and that's not just about visuals. It's customizing how you want to play the game. So it's really thinking about like, well, I really like to craft and just set up my little crafting setup and sell things on the exchange to other players. So you can do that. You can basically live your life as a crafter. You can also be an architect, as we talked about. You know, you can be a pilot, a scout. You're not really heavily involved in the fighting, but you go out and you craft maps that you sell to other players as well of the world.
Where are we currently at? Like, I know there have been betas already. How many more of those are coming? When is the next one? What's the status of development? Where are we at?
So yeah, we've been running
May.
betas now
I'm
for
going
several
May.
months. They've been going really well. We're slowly inviting more people over time. So the game, yeah, I mean, we're not going to rush it out the door. We're going to work with our community and our players, and we're going to try and make the game as good as it possibly can be.
Takes as long as it takes, man.
Takes as long as it takes, and you got to do it well. So yeah, so we're working with our community, and yeah, betas are continuing right all the way through launch, and we're going to keep increasing the number of people in those betas,
Okay.
helping us stress test, yelling at us because they get eaten by sandworms, all those kind of good things.
All the good stuff.
That is good. That is
Speaking
good
of
at keeping
stuff,
it running.
have there been any like recent
Now we just need to get
milestones
in
you're
it.
particularly excited about, or anything you want to share about the current development?
Sure. There's a thing as a creative director I like to say that we get a few aces every time we make a project. We get to make a few creative bets. There's a thing called the shifting sands, which is one of my most exciting. One of the things that makes me most excited about the game, and that is this location in the world. It's a full PvP area, and every week the Coriolis storm sweeps in and completely alters the landscape of this area. And I got to see that working for the first time very recently with full landscape changing and people able to play, and it's exciting to see these things coming online. And I think it's something people haven't seen before in a game. So I'm excited to let the audience in on it, you know?
I can't wait to be part of
Yeah,
that
'cause it's like-
audience. And I also
that's something
can't
that could be
wait to give
interesting for,
more
like, season
opportunities in the future to
update.
chat about the development and the process that you and the team
Yeah,
are
like
going
adding
through.
new
Now, any
areas.
last words, anything you want to say to your future player base?
Yes, thank you everybody for joining us on this journey. I hope today's show was like your first taste of spice, mildly euphoric, slightly addictive, and leaving you wanting more.
I certainly want more of that now.
Yeah, we didn't get
I'm pretty sure everyone
into-
watching as well. So remember, for a chance to
We didn't-
get
we
an
didn't- we didn't get
invitation
into,
to,
like,
any of
the
future
addiction
closed
part
beta
of sand
tests. Head on over
that
to
I talked about last time.
duneawakening.com and sign up for the beta. Then head on over to Steam and wishlist the game. You can also join our Discord and follow our other socials at Dune Awakening. Also, of course, you can keep up to date on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, where we will be showcasing regular sneak peeks into the
Okay,
world
so we
of
got
Dune
climbing.
Awakening. Now, here is the moment that I'm pretty sure everyone has been waiting for. Let's
'Kay,
take a look
new
at that
trailer
brand new gameplay trailer for Dune Awakening.
Okay, let's see this.
Arrakis is a test.
Unreal 5.2. Okay, that Pacific.
Few survive it.
Okay. So no UI. I imagine climbing still gonna be like stamina, like any other game nowadays. I imagine. Okay, they're all mining. They're all crafting. Okay. That is probably a federal event, I imagine. Okay, so it looks like we do got some stealth. Yeah, you can actually break apart broken vehicle. Does that mean, like, if you are blowing up other people's vehicles, if you kill the player, can you harvest their own vehicles? That would look like. That we do know we're gonna have vehicles, though. If so, that could add any more motivation to encounter into PvP. especially if you need the materials.
Arrakis is a test. Few survive it. But the humans that do awaken.
That actually showed a decent amount. Like, it wasn't a long trailer, but yeah, that was a decent amount up they just showed.
Arrakis is truly the most dangerous planet in the universe.
Yeah,
And
they
you
will
know
be
what?
up on YouTube
I
in a
can't
bit.
wait to go there. Now, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned and join us on the next Dune Awakening Direct.
Are we gonna get a date for that, or I'm guessing that's something that you're gonna announce at some point? Okay, yeah, that was about what, 25 minutes? Yeah, so yeah, I didn't even think about the whole like harvesting people vehicles because I'm so used to like, you know, in like moat games, where like you have PvP stuff and you blow up somebody's vehicle, you know, it just become either set dressing or just disappear. But if you can just destroy Skeletor vehicles and then just kill them and harvest it, man, yeah, that is. I feel like that might up, especially since they are going for the sandbar. Oh, I'm gonna rewatch it, don't you worry. We're gonna skim through it, and look at it in a little more detail, don't you worry, Z. But yeah, like, obviously that right there, like that whole situation, I feel like that is like gonna probably motivate some people any more so into, you know, wanting to actually engage in PvP, especially depending on how difficult it is to get materials. And also, I'm super curious if the way they are doing the whole, the other thing that is more interesting also think about that is like the whole idea, because it you know, from the original trailer until hi, CM. Welcome. I'm ranting. Welcome, CM, how you doing? Welcome back. But yeah, we are talking about the whole crafting like vehicle, or more so with the possibility of destroying people's vehicle and then harvesting them.
Darn. I missed it, troymaconn.
Oh, don't worry, the VOD be up on YouTube probably in the net like 30 minutes. Don't you worry, CM. And like I said, I'm getting ready to skim through it. Only about 25 minutes. But yeah, the other thing, like, from like we were talking about this earlier today about how this seeming to like very much leaning.
Was there spice?
There was all the fight, all of them.
We love Commander Woods. We want CM to stream.
One day, get it, CM. Dream CM. But yeah, seeming like obviously with them wanting it to be a sandbox, and especially now that we know roughly, you know, all things can change, but roughly the whole like your class is flexible depending on NPC and quests that you take from NPCs. Is what it feels like is like I'm getting honestly like Star Wars Galaxy vibe, like heavily from this. And then that like going into the whole idea like, oh yeah, just built up and then sell blueprints. The question there gonna be, are we gonna have an auction house, or they gonna be like Pass Exile where you gotta go like meet up with people? I believe that how Pass Exile still work. I believe you still gotta meet up with people to sell stuff.
We want Zyla streams. We love Zyla.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Get on it,
cool
Z.
Cat.
Get on it. But like I'm super curious to know, like, are you gonna sell it on like a market, or to like you have to go to somebody and sell it?
Is an open beta coming?
They said they are gonna continue wanting a beta. They're not an open beta yet. They did say open beta, like they offhand commented name drop open beta. But they also said that the beta is going right now and will continue to go up to release. Which when we told on bed the question, does that mean is it going to be free to play or is it going to be buy to play? We still don't know. But yeah, they did talk about how the beta is going to continue going. So if you sign up, they'll invite more and more people, and then open beta at a later date. But yeah, I'm so curious to know, like, at Fallout selling, I guess that you're selling blueprints, and they said blueprint, and since the way they talked about building is a walking, like, nightingale. You know what I'm talking about, CM. You know how a nightingale, when you put stuff down on the ground, it do, like, a highlight of it, and then you walk over to it, and then add material to it? And that what it seemed like they are doing.
Don't worry, Troy sent his notorious email asking for a key.
Oh, I'm doing
Send
that.
us that email draft so I can use it, Keck.
We'll do. I'm absolutely doing that after this. After I get this up on YouTube, I'm absolutely gonna go sign up and send some messages now that I know the beta, like, ongoing. But yeah, like, they were talking about how you're gonna be able to put down stuff.
So we can have a key?
But we will see. We will see. Hey, we are technically an MMO channel. Just saying. Just saying, Funcom, if you see this. Especially on YouTube. The question is, I imagine this is probably under NDA. So if we have a key, we probably couldn't talk about much, I imagine. But, But yeah, like it seemed like building gonna work the same way in Nightingale, because they talked about you're gonna be able to lay down stuff, and then other players are gonna be able to come over and, like, add material to it to build it. Also, they finally cut the stream chat. That was a decent amount of music there at the end. Yay. So like that is also, like, great. But yeah, let's go back to that trailer. What was that trailer? There it is. Let's look at it and break it down a little bit better, chat. Now that we know what we are looking at.
That I'm pretty sure everyone has been waiting for. Let's take a look at that brand new gameplay trailer.
Wait.
For Dune Awakening.
Okay. I'll give it a second look, chat.
Arrakis is a test.
Yeah, the whole 5.2 is interesting. What?
Few survive.
Because I'm wheeled on, what, 5.5, right? But yeah, this is the most Unreal looking game. Yeah. This literally look like the Unreal demo that we got a couple years ago when Unreal 5 was announced. Like, being in a mountain, in a cave like that. Yeah, they were all baby sandworms that they were talking about. Yeah, right there. Yeah, this is obviously a mining thing. What did it look like? Yeah, it's like looking at this now. Is it seeming to be is it Warframe? I think Warframe the one that do it. Well, if you go up to, like, a crafting material, it will have, like, an outline, and you have to, like, use a gun to draw the outline, and then it blows up. Because if you notice, like, yeah, if you notice, it will following the line there. So I'm guessing you do that to actually do it. And then this is, I'm guessing, the actual crafting stuff, since they obviously putting up a wall. Yeah, like that there. So it does look like as well from this. Maybe if you also have the materials, you can just outright build it. So, because like I said, they didn't show the whole people running up and adding to it. So I'm guessing if you have the material, you can straight build it. If you don't have the material, it'd probably be like Nightingale then. This right here, honestly, this looked like, what did it look like? It looked like a event like in PSO. You know, like a emergency trial. Like, it really, honestly, it did just make now thinking about it, there were quests in PSO2 where you literally be going about and a wicked plane fall in front of you and you have to, like, defend it. Obviously, this is probably you going for materials. And, you know, obviously waiting to get other people. But yeah, see, like, we have the craft site. So we have them also looting it. So that event is probably just for looting. Which is probably just gonna be, to be honest, like a little more fancy or L drop to once again, you know, have a reason for conflict. Wait, don't tell me that one of the open world will it empty with random access. No. To be honest, like remind you of No Man's Sky.
Loot the spice.
Oh, we are. They obviously are an other material, probably. But yeah, the No Man's Sky thing might be a little more accurate because, like, earlier in not in it trailer, but earlier on, they did show them walking around with NPCs everywhere, like a town. So the question is, like, how much of that is gonna be like No Man's Sky? I'm trying to remember. Do No Man's Sky have it? Well, if you talk to an NPC, could you talk to an NPC to learn ability, right? So maybe it is gonna work a little similar to that. But obviously, with it being like a PvP PvE game and character building, it probably is gonna be a little like once you leave like the hub towns, it's probably gonna be like a little empty outside of the stuff they talked about. That gonna be like the stuff coming in and out from under the sand, depending on the weather. That will probably be like the quote unquote dungeons and whatnot, more than likely. But yeah, this hill, like for example, there was a town. I know we're gonna see stealth in a moment, but it very much just screamed like stealth mission to me. Yeah, see right here the stealth stuff. Yeah, see right there, like, hang on, can we go back? Well, my buttons? There it is. But look at that again real quick.
Can we get hats? Troymaconn.
Yeah. They have hoods, so maybe. But yeah, like, yeah, you are literally following stuff. So I wonder if they're gonna be like, instead of you going up to and just shooting it, or like in the case of most survival game, where you just hit it with like a pickaxe and just waiting for it to break. I wonder if they're gonna be more like, do the line so you know exactly how much you need to do, and in return you're not just sitting there forever hitting thing waiting for it to break. Also, if you notice, this line is like following this on, so I wonder if like is it gonna be like multiple points on that we're gonna have to like break off of this. Yeah, at Unreal 5 right now, see them, and that is why. But yeah, they're all fate or L combat. Yeah. Turn off some of the mining, the crafting stuff. And then, of course, the PvP battle stuff. I wonder, to be honest here, if the PvP stuff go hectic, I wonder if we can, like, which I imagine we probably could, since it looked like we're going to be able to mine people's vehicles, and the vehicles are not being completely destroyed. I wonder if they're going to be one of them things, like a strategy would be if you need to get metal or something, and just wait for people to fight each other, and then, like, walk in there afterwards and just, like, loot the place up, and maybe deal with one or two people. More than likely, that's probably what it is, and probably what we're going to do.
Arrakis is a test. Few survive it. But the humans that do awaken.
But yeah, like I said, the trailer is not that long, but man, the trailer do show a lot though. All right, let me see. Where was that? Where was that town? I want to look at that town again. Where'd you go? Oh, there it is. There it is. All right, show me that town. Okay, I'm gonna mute you so we don't have to listen to bits and pieces as I'm skipping. Hopefully I didn't go too far, chat. Did I go too far? Oh, I did. I think I went too far, chat. Okay, there we go. Maybe? YouTube? YouTube. Okay. Okay, there we go. I did that. There it is. There it is. Yeah, because obviously, like, over here is going to be probably one of the shopkeepers or one of the people they talked about that you do stuff with to quote-unquote level. So yeah, like, now I'm gonna like bed the question, like, how many hub towns are we actually gonna have in this? Like, because obviously we got like the main town, that a given, but like, also my other curiosity here, now thinking about it, is, you know, like the whole ending bit here. Is I am very curious as well to know, obviously with it being PvE, PvP stuff, is fourth person combat. They only have showed third person. They haven't showed any fourth person yet. At least as of now, anyway. I imagine you might be able to go between the two, especially since, you know, like guns and stuff in involved, but they haven't showed it yet. So as of right now, it seems to be only third person Z. But I am curious here. Is especially from like the more single player aspect, you know, obviously they want to go into like that being, you know, let the player do the sandbox thing. But I am kind of curious to know is, like, obviously we got the sandworm. So I'm curious to see if, like, are we gonna have like other like NPC enemies? You know, since it looked like leveling and not gonna be done through combat, we'll say. Like, I imagine you probably gonna have like your bait level. You know, the same thing you see in like a lot of, you know, survival games. But I imagine we will probably have something like that. But I'm super curious to see is, like, are there going to be like NPCs such as the Sand People or other people as well that going to be running around, or is it like 100% PvP, and the PvE part is literally just the whole surviving a Wacket and the sandworms as well. So I'm curious about that. But they did say they are going to do more of these in the future. So hopefully as we get closer and closer and closer to launch, hopefully that be more stuff they will talk about over due time. I imagine right now the beta is probably, if I had to get, the beta is probably a lot of player and player stuff. Probably not so much in PC right now, but hopefully that's something that will get added later, hopefully. But yeah, that is pretty much the event. Like, the main thing to come out of this, if player can sell or like make houses and items and sell them, so yay. You level through.
We want Dune Awakening.
We do see them. You level professions by doing with NPCs, and there were no like set class. It's like you become the class you want to do through play style and what NPC you work with. Obviously the Sandbox MMO, which we already knew that bit. Also, since going back to leveling stuff, is as of now it seemed like combat don't actually give level, but like maybe once again maybe like, you know, harvesting water, blood, item, crafting, maybe that will. And another thing is, yes, you can drink blood to survive, right along with plants. So, and plant will make you sick. So that is another thing I'm curious about. If you're out in the wild, is that going to be the other thing that's going to force people into conflict, into just kill them, to just like get them blood so they can like maybe make it out of the desert? And obviously traveling at night is a big thing because heat. But yeah, there was a nice little direct, let's say, about 25 minutes. Decent amount of stuff came out of this. And yeah, we will absolutely absolutely will be watching the rest of these. So I will let you guys know when the next one pops up. Because you better believe I'm gonna be following this. Since I love survival, I love MMO, I love Doom. So yes, give me more of this. And also, like Coon keep yapping my ear off about how great Conan Exile is, which is the same dev. So it might be a pretty good track record here. The only issue I foresee is it being, of course, a licensing game and what can come from that. But that is a future problem nonetheless. Maybe at some point we need to play Conan to get an idea of Wobbly, since I believe that's the last game Funcom worked on. So maybe we need to do that to get an idea about Conan. And how it does a lot of stuff. Because I imagine a lot of stuff from Conan will probably roll into this in one way or another. But with that, I think that would do it for the Doom event. It will be up on YouTube. Probably give me like 30-40 minutes to get this uploaded. Because we are at about an hour? No, we're at 45. Okay, so yeah. So I will get this up on YouTube. Give me probably about 20-30 minutes. And it will be live over there. So you can catch up on it, see them. Yeah, we will be back with more Doom when they give it to us. But since it will be up on YouTube, if you're able to do thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bells. Come on over to twitch.tv/troymaconn, where we are streaming 7 to 8 p.m.-ish. Along my Zambia, not bad right now. It's horrible. You can tell the sun is out and blinding me. And I'm very blue. So, yeah, Zambia is a problem right now. But nonetheless, we are live over here. And, of course, we got a whole bunch of stuff coming. We got Final Fantasy, Dragon Dogma, Monster Hunter, and so many other random shenanigans. And if you're here on Twitch, be sure to scream at me with bits.
And
what up?
All that spice.
Yes, we can't forget about the spice. We can't. And yeah, be sure to follow, subscribe if you haven't. All bits, all donation, all go to, well, Luna and Sam. And yeah. And also I get technically to tap people here soon. But nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to head on out of here. I'm going to get this up on YouTube. I will be back later tonight. My theory would be is I'll probably be live around maybe 11 midnight-ish. That is going to be my guess. And we will be live probably within the day as well. So anyway, have yourself a good night, good day, whatever it might be. CMZ, like always for Twitch. Once I get all this uploaded and everything, VOD will come up. And we'll continue with more VOD throughout the night till I wake up. So, to then, chat, have yourself a good one. And I will go ahead and see you later tonight.